Hello and welcome back to another video today here again on Gran Turismo 7 to take a look at another brand new car here in the game, which is this Nissan Z Performance. So brand new I'm using quite loosely. It's not been recently added to Gran Turismo 7, it has been in since launch. However, this is the first Gran Turismo game to have this car, so it's still something new to try out that I haven't yet driven. It's available in several whites, greys, silvers and blacks, as well as three very lovely bright colours and that. So confusingly here on Gran Turismo it's called the Z Performance, giving it yet another name, having previously been called the Proto Z 400Z and many other names during its time as a concept car. It produces 399 horsepower from an almost 3-litre turbocharged engine, apparently straight out of the Skyline 400R. It does, however, weigh 1,543 kilos, which is, well, basically the weight of the moon if we're talking about sports cars, putting the performance points overall at 553.85 from standard, and it costs a rather reasonable 69,680 credits from Brand Central here in GT7, which isn't all that bad in this game. Supposedly the real-life version, which is confusingly just called the Z to give it another possible name, will be available to buy from summer 2022, which is finally going to be properly on sale. Now, it was quite a lot of fun to drive, but it did kick the back end out a lot, ending up with, well, this happening. It does also have a rather lovely interior. I mean, just look at those gauges up on the dashboard. How cool are they? So after that spin, I decided it was best to head off to do some upgrades and customization to the car. Being Gran Turismo 7, of course the first thing I did was fit the wide body, which is available for almost every car in the game, and then added some 20-inch Enki wheels with wider track to fit the new extended arches. I've also given it a carbon splitter side skirts diffuser and bigger lip spoiler, and there was also a nice wing option and of course wingless and the custom wing set available, but I preferred the just slightly extended lip. You could also change the front grille, which is good because the top half not matching the bottom and being the only bit with the sort of chrome fronting on did make it sort of like they had just forgotten to make the rest of the grille. So I kind of prefer that it matches now, although it is a bit of a big gaping mouth. But anyway, there were several brilliant Nissan colours to choose from, including Bayside Blue, Midnight Purple and Millennium Jade. However, I found an orange that I rather liked, which is no joke called Ultimate Shiny Orange, which, to be fair, it kind of is. I've also gone for white wheels, which I really like on this car. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but against the orange, I think they work really well, and I don't often do it. There's just something about them that I think is really cool. They also match the white, sort of subtle window banner I've put across, and I've put on some blue brake calipers, which I rather like against the orange and the white as well. And due to the unique layer groups in Gran Turismo, that black roof, I had to remake after I'd resprayed the car, because of course that bit gets deleted when you paint it a different colour. Forza also has this kind of problem, where it removes any stripes or black bits or... Anyway, then you have to go through the very fiddly process of redoing it, which, if I say so myself, I think I've done rather a good job of, and it looks quite OEM. So that is the visual customization, but more importantly, I've upgraded the car to just under 700 performance points, actually 690 because AI are quite easy, but with the 700 performance point Race of Turbo sports car event at Suzuka in mind for us to try the car out at, which yes, I have won before, but I thought it fitted this car quite well. Anyway, here we are in understeer engineering. As you can see, I've not done much in the sports tab. Those tyres were what it actually came with. In club sports, I've done these couple of bits, but not a lot else. Semi-racing, I've done the computer. I was tempted to put a turbo in, putting it just over 700, but given AI are quite easy, I've left that out. I've tried to keep it as a road car, so I haven't really done any weight reduction. I have, however, done these bits you can see in the racing section. So suspension, exhausts, brakes, you can kind of see what I've done here. And in extreme I've done carbon ceramics so that I can paint my brake calipers blue. literally the only reason to spend all of your money on one of those, because they don't actually help. But anyway, as you can see, I now have 588 horsepower, which is a little bit scary in this car, and, well, weigh no less, because I haven't done any weight reduction, because I want to keep it as a, well, fast road car rather than a stripped-out race car. I know that doesn't matter in a game, it's just something I tend to do. Anyway, let's see how it copes at the track. So here we are at a slightly damp Suzuka for our 5-lap race in turbo sports cars. So here we are at a slightly damp Suzuka for a 5-lap race in our turbo sports cars. Let's not go around the outside of the much more all-wheel drive Subaru this time. I believe this skyline is in the same colour as my not 400Z. By Subaru, up into 8 as we cross onto our second lap. We're so much faster on the straight. Okay, the rain is starting to come down quite heavily now. We are up behind a Supra, which is quite interesting, because that's probably one of the rivals to this car. Oh, well, never mind. I'm just hoping whatever is out in front isn't all-wheel drive. There is no grip there. I've been taking that much speed previous laps. I've generally, though, been being super cautious in the corners and watering it on the straights, which is probably the way to go if it's raining, although it seems to have settled down a little bit. Anyway, lap 4. Just stuck behind him at this point. Just aware there's no grip if I go offline, so. And I've got 2 laps to get past him. Okay, here we go. Goodbye, GTR. Oh, that's even worse than last lap. Hello again, GTR. This is actually proving to be quite a good battle, only because it's raining and he's all-wheel drive, otherwise AI are terrible. But given I'm on slicks in the rain, I might lose to him. Well, the Supra had caught up massively, but luckily, down the straights I'm a lot faster than him. The GTR, however, has won this by a mile. Which is another case for all-wheel drive being better. Not too bad from the little Nissan there. First place of the rear-wheel drive cars, at least. So there we go, that is going to do it for a first look at the Nissan Z Performance. I have really enjoyed this car, actually, more than I thought I would here on Gran Turismo 7. I did drive it on Project Cars 3 quite a long time ago now, but obviously that's gives you much less of an impression of what the car is actually like. But yeah, it's not bad. It is really fun, but quite slidey from standard, but upgraded it was a lot of fun, even in the rain there, with tiny amounts of grip. And I don't know why, I just particularly love how this thing's turned out with the orange and the white wheels. But I do think it's a very, very good looking car before. Given the Supra is kind of the main rival, I'm going to make a few comparisons to that. Well, firstly, I like this a lot more. You may know I'm not a huge fan of the new Supra, or the old Supra. Anyway, this starts at slightly higher performance than the Supra. It's got more power than the Supra. It's about the same weight as the Supra. And I think it looks better and has a nicer interior than the Supra. So, to me, it's millions and millions of times better than that. I would have to drive both in the same game to tell you what the driving's like between the two, but on paper at least this looks like the one to have, and I think it looks better. But anyway, there we go. That is a first look at the Nissan Z performance here on Gran Turismo 7. Was a lot of fun to drive and doesn't cost all that much, so I would recommend you go and give this thing a go if you have this game. It was a lot of fun. But for now, for a first look at this Nissan, that is going to be all. Let me know if you've enjoyed this style of video, because there's plenty more cars I'd like to take a look at on here. But for now, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.